When we hit a shot well, we will have done three things. We would hit it solid, we would have hit it with directional control, and we would have hit a predictable distance that we were hoping for. We would have done all three of those things. Distance, your ability to hit the distance you want is there. We don't have to work on you hitting 145 yard down there. Where we have issues is two areas. One is that we have too big of a dispersion here with your landing time. But it's also definitely you're not consistently solid.
No, I have.
If you hit it consistently solid, the directional fix it will be better. What we need to focus on are what are those things that you may be doing in your swing that make you inconsistent at controlling the low point of your swing, that your low point is moving around. Whereas when you hit it solid, when you hit it really, really perfect, your low point's going to be about right there. Yeah. So if a pro came up here and hit 10 shots, their low point would be right in here all the time. Your low point is fluctuating all over the place. You're not. Sometimes you're here, sometimes you're here, sometimes you're here, sometimes you're here. It's all over the place. And so we need to try to stabilize ourselves so that this swing arc has the low point in the same place every time. But if you're moving all over the place, then you're going to have issues there. So let's just try to have a very stable axis. What you're working on now is to don't have any sway. Just feel like your eyes are just frozen. There's like a string from the ball to your eyes, and you don't break that string. You don't let any slack in it. That's perfect. So you can do it. Now do it again. So it's all about doing it again now. It's not about doing it. It's about doing it again. I don't want you to swish one free throw and then miss the rim on the next one. So stay with that tempo and balance. Even on your misses, try to fool the camera into thinking you hit a great shot every time. So you're always thinking that really good form finish, the classic finish. Just making poses, just posing for the camera with every swing. The camera's not going to see the shot. So if somebody was looking at 10 of these swings, they would think you hit them all great because they wouldn't see any difference in the form. Hit it 10 in a row and just play them back. Boom, 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 boom. I'll send the link to you. Now let's play 10 in a row. See if you can make them all look the same. Again, you've got to figure out what's something you can do with your stance or your swing so that you can have a good balance. Well, you can have a repetitive tempo and balanced finish. So we've got to find something that allows you to do it consistently. Because you're probably only 50% of the time having balance. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that you just overswing. Just swing too much. Can't even see them. Snap hook. Got to stand slightly closer slightly taller. Looks like you just really tilt over too much from the driver and reach out too much. You're on your toes almost right now, looks like that, instead of your heels. Don't you be more on your heels? So the next, I don't know how many balls we have there. Try to have one of those shots with a finish that you can stand there for 5 seconds. But even that one's not going to qualify. You've got to be able to, I know you can do this. I know you can swing and have a beautiful classic pro finish and hold it there until the ball hits the ground. Yeah, move your stance again. Your goal is to have a classic finish right now. That's what we're working on. Perfect classic hold. Find out. You have to find some internal discovery systems. Figure out, why am I losing my balance? Do a practice swing or two, kind of really almost slow. Oh, no, hold that finish. Hold that finish. Just like the pros do. I don't mind you coming, I don't mind a recoil. Here's the classic pro finish. They will swing, it'll wrap around, and then they'll recoil and hold. They could stand here for an hour. Let's find out what we can do. The first one out of all the drives you hit, that's the first one you had a good balance. That was really good. Now let's lock it down. I don't know where the ball went. Hit halfway decent?
Yeah, it was solid.
Well, maybe there's a connection. Hold your finish. Halfway decent? Okay, that was 2 really good balances, 2 halfway decent hits. Let's keep it going. The balance affects the hit. Don't try to just hit. Focus on the balance, and your chances are better. Hold your balance. That's 3 in a row, good balance. I don't care about the ball. Halfway decent? Yeah. Okay, good. 3 for 3. You had good balance, had good shots. Even if you don't have 10 great shots in a row, you can have 10 great balances in a row. That's doable. Hold your balance. Okay. Those 4 swings, that has to be just so, anything besides that has to be so foreign to you. Gosh, no, that was me last year, but that's not me now. I have this finish every time now. I've got that part of my golf swing is no longer an issue. Yeah. This has to stop being an issue. There's no guarantee you're going to hit a good shot when you have that balance, but there's almost a guarantee you won't if you don't. The pros still miss fairways. The pros still bomb. They're hitting 1,000 balls a day, and they still miss fairways. So, but they always have good finish. Hold your finish. That's your goal. Right now, I want your mind. I want your attention on the balance.
Yeah.
And not the power. I think the chaos that we're having is all from the setting. You're going to find, if I took a video of the top 10 pros driving, I'm going to see these hands hardly any further than a spread here, and not here. I need you to stand taller, get the handle up more, and we're going to hit a few shots and see if that change in geometry of your setup makes you be a little bit more, so you're going to feel taller and closer. So the handle's not, you don't have so much angle in that right there. So you're standing taller, hands are higher, your hands are just hanging right under your shoulders. You're more balanced in the center of your feet. Just keep working with that. So you're going to notice that your triceps are touching your chest a little bit more than before. That looks good. Keep it back. Let's play the ball a little bit more forward in your stance so it's easier to hit up. Flare this foot a little bit, it'll also help with balance. Hey, that's the finish on that one. All right, beautiful. That's killed and straight.
What I'm used to. As soon as I widened my stance and flared my foot.
Yeah, that was really good. Okay, Cody, I'm going to look at your posture for the driver compared to some of the other pros. First, we're going to look at McElroy. I'm going to look at the angle of his spine. That's this angle right here. It's 30 degrees. And yours is about 44 degrees. 29 to 44. So there's a 14-degree difference there. So you're stooped over quite a bit more. The other thing I want you to notice is how far away the hands are from the leg, and your hand is just a lot further away right there. You just got a much bigger gap. Here's another one of Rory. A little better camera angle on him, and again he has a much. He's standing much taller, much more upright. You really stoop over too much, and that puts all your weight out here on your toes. When you've got so much of your weight that far above you, if we were to look at take the center of his right shoulder straight to the ground and the center of your right shoulder, you can see the distance between his shoulder line and his leg is very short, and yours is really further away. So I think it'll really help if we can get a posture that's more like the pros. Here's Tiger. You can see he's fairly similar to what Rory was doing. If we drew an arrow from the seat, it's behind his heels, and you're pretty much on the heels. So I just need we'll just need to work a little bit more on this posture until we can have a little bit more upright setup. You're always going to have some chaos at impact, and you're going to hit some good ones, but you're going to hit way too many errant shots. You need to stabilize your swing around a much more stable setup and posture. I think it should be noted that your posture for your irons is much more like the pros than your driver posture. If we look at Tiger here, this angle is about 45 degrees from the spine angle to the arms, and yours is very similar to that. So your spine and your arms are at a 45-degree angle to each other. Your hands are very close to your legs in both pitchers. So you are able to shape your body into the posture of Tiger Woods with an iron. And so you need to develop that same ability to have that same posture that Tiger does on the driver. With the iron, your angle was almost identical to Tiger, but there's a 16-degree difference here when I do a spine arm angle. And so he's standing more upright, which closes the gap between those two lines on Tiger, and your gap is still too big there. So if you were to stand taller and let your spine come up more, that would then narrow the angle and be closer to what Tiger's doing. Now the swing on the right was before I adjusted your posture and your setup. This is when you're scooped over way too much, reaching too far with your hands, hands too far away from the legs, weight too much in the toes. On the left is a lot better. You stood a little taller, and that allowed your hands to get in a little bit closer to you. It made your weight now is more centered on your feet. And so that's the direction we need to go with your driver swing. We've got to improve your posture, your setup. I think all the issues of inconsistency with your driver is your posture and your setup. And so that's what we'll work on. But the swing on the left is a lot better and more optimal for consistent driving. You may be inconsistent because it's new, but you were inconsistent even when you had your comfortable posture on the right. You were inconsistent. So now that you have an uncomfortable posture on the left, it may not have an immediate improvement in consistency because it's new. But that's where you have to practice and work on it to make this comfortable. And there's no question that you're going to be a much better driver of the golf ball, and without losing any power, if you stand a little bit more upright.